Why is the junior year of high school so dang hard? Well, you have a heavy course load, standardized testing, and extracurricular activities while trying to stay sane and have a social life. And sometimes it feels like you're sinking. Junior year is stereotypically a year of narrowing down, discovering how you want to present yourself to colleges. It's a scramble of differentiating yourself, doing cool extracurriculars that make you stand out. Within this trend of narrowing down how you present yourself to the world, I've never felt more lost. My junior year experience has been untraditional to say the least. During my freshman and sophomore year of high school, I planned to have an ideal junior year academic experience, fill my schedule with AP classes, thrive in my business, and score high on standardized tests. I had an obsession with ambition. Being above average / ahead of the curve became the center of my identity. I was so used to people telling me I had it all figured out. However, this summer just changed me. On a trip in the Dominican Republic, I realized all my striving was merely vanity, me trying to find love and acceptance in my accomplishments. On the trip, I began to dive deeper into what made me cling onto my accolades for acceptance. Like, who hurt me? What hole do I have in my heart that I have been trying to desperately fill? Literally speaking, I have a hole in my heart that was filled by plastic at birth. My heart works wonderfully now, but there's something artificial about it. Similarly, in the 7th grade, my heart was broken, and I mended it with something artificial. In 7th grade, I went through a rejection. At the time, I blew it over my shoulder, but it left scarring on my heart that I was unaware of. It was easy to blow the situation off my shoulder since mere weeks after the rejection, my YouTube channel blew up. The hole in my heart left by the rejection was quickly filled by the influx of thousands of new subscribers to my YouTube channel. It was okay that I'd been rejected by someone because there were thousands of people who loved and accepted who I was, or at least what I showed the internet. Praise from the internet filled the hole in my heart, and it worked. Only for a couple years though. This plastic filling in my heart fooled me into thinking I was confident and I didn't care what others thought about me. I secretly scoffed at videos in my recommended For You feed on YouTube about self-love because I thought I was the epitome of it. Although the plastic filling of my accomplishments and my heart fooled me, it didn't fool the people around me. My loved ones and mentors called me out for stretching myself too thin and not placing enough emphasis on my relationships. Even viewers in my comment section pointed out my flaws, but I hardened my heart towards their feedback. I just thought they didn't understand. Circling back to my trip in the Dominican Republic, I had a conversation with a local named Kiko there about the cultural differences between Dominicans and Americans. Kiko told me that Dominicans value their time with family and friends much more than Americans, and that Americans miss the pleasures of life right in front of them because they're too occupied with chasing status. That conversation with Kiko was a light bulb moment for me. It convicted me. I fought tears while he spoke because it was like he was speaking directly to my soul. Joy had been in my life all along. Jesus has been pursuing me all this time, encouraging me to rest in him, but I've been too busy looking at my calendar to look up and notice him. I wish I didn't have to go to the Dominican Republic to finally internalize what my community at home had been telling me for literal seasons, but I know God placed that conversation in my life with intention. After leaving the Dominican Republic, I set out to start living as Annie the human instead of Annie the achiever. This new way of living seemed magical at first, at least in the summer. In the summer, I spent lots of time at church. I stayed present with those around me and with Jesus, but this new school year has been the true test of my intention to detach my identity from my achievements. This morning, I'm really like, this is hard. I'm just like struggling to figure out even who I am, you know? What's been keeping me sane, though, has been reading. I love delving into new topics through literature. Later in this video, I actually go to one of my favorite places in the world, Barnes & Nobles. But outside of browsing for books in the bookstore, I love browsing the internet for books, and recently I've been using Opera as my internet browser. The unique features Opera has made me question how I use the internet and honestly how it works. Opera is faster, safer, and smarter than your default browsers. Opera allows you to surf the web with a free VPN, chat with friends directly in your browser, and share files easily between devices. So no more like texting yourself links. Also, I didn't really understand why having a VPN is important until recently. So to give you a little crash course, VPNs transmit your data through an encrypted connection. VPNs utilize a remote server to hide your IP address. I also love how Opera gives you a handy sidebar with convenient messaging options and a feature called MyFlow that allows you to send files between the Opera desktop browser and your Opera browser on a different device. The messaging options in the browser can be be distracting for deep work, so luckily Opera allows you to disable the chat features. Click the link in my description to give Opera a test run. This morning I went to a trash cleanup. It was so fun. I honestly haven't always had a heart for community service, but I feel like that's something that God has like really called me to more recently. It's literally crazy. I feel like I'm such a different person when I'm far away from God. It's like mind-boggling. I don't know, like sometimes I look back at old videos of what I said when I was like really far away from God, and I'm just like, why? I don't know. I forgive past versions of myself. After cleaning up some trash, I got rewarded with pão de queijo. I knew junior year was going to be hard, but I feel like I didn't clear out space in my life for junior year to exist, so I felt very overwhelmed, and like kind of balancing the business with school was really difficult. But I reflected a lot this week. I feel a lot better going into this week, but I realized I want to get back into content creation, and I realized it was tough for me to truly be my most authentic self on YouTube. Like I just feel like within these last 2 years, every single time I open up a camera, like I'm always thinking, oh, am I keeping people's attention? So I'm not truly talking about what I want to talk about. I'm just so sick of not being integrous. I think integrity means being one, being the same person in different circumstances. I'm all for, yes, there are different aspects of me that I'm going to express more in certain circumstances than others. In different environments, I will highlight specific pieces of myself that are beneficial to that environment. And I think that's normal. I think that's part of being mature and having some type of emotional intelligence and being able to read a room. However, I think there is a specific difference between being able to read a room and then like manipulating a room. I don't want to have this pride in me that's like I can control the way other people see me. Like recently I've just been thinking about it. Am I the same person at school, at church, on YouTube, when I'm in my room, right? Like, I don't know, this has just been bothering me. Like this summer I realized how image conscious I am. Like when I was on my mission trip in the Dominican Republic, I constantly was just thinking about like, what does my posture look like? How do I look like? It was so exhausting. So that's really just something I'm trying to work on in my life, is like, let me just be the same person everywhere I go. I don't want to feel like I'm 5 different people. I'm trying to control the way that people see me. Like I want to love everyone well, but I can't control if they accept me or not. Like I thought, oh, I'm so confident. Like I run a coaching program, I coach other girls, like I speak on stage, I'm confident with who I am. But then I realized, why am I so mentally drained by considering and mentally calculating how people are going to perceive me? That's pretty clear that I have not found true confidence. Right now I have a very like outwards, maybe superficial confidence, but I'm working on the genuine heart confidence of the instinctive thoughts I have in my head when I walk into a room or when I talk to someone. Sometimes I just notice myself, my brain is just moving so fast while talking to someone that I can't fully just look into their eyes and appreciate who they are. I hope you enjoyed my TED Talk about authenticity. These are the things I want to open up about in videos. If you would like me to return to old video formats and just not talk about this deep stuff, you can let me know. But I think it's important. I think a lot of people struggle with it, but it's not talked about enough. Speaking of being a coach for the High Performance Student Coaching Program, a program that I launched back in June, I have a coaching call to get on in a couple of minutes. We're gonna prep. I'm really excited for today's coaching call because we're doing a fun activity. So we have 12 girls in this cohort. They are all so amazing, so talented. We have a global community. We have a student from the Philippines, a student from the UK. All the students are gonna split up into groups of 2. So it's gonna be like one-on-one breakout rooms, and they're going to be doing like partner reflective questions on their life. And these are deep questions, guys. At the beginning of junior year, I was grinding on my coaching business, the High Performance Student Program. It's something I'm so passionate about, but it has really conflicted with my schoolwork. I take my business seriously, so I prioritize my business before schoolwork. This has endangered my academics. I began turning in assignments late, telling my teachers I didn't do the homework. I was teaching about high performance, but my lifestyle wasn't reflecting high performance, so I had to change things. I told my team members I wanted to restructure the business to bring me more rest and flexibility to discover other interests. I've been so committed to business over the last 2 years that I never let myself engage in seemingly irrelevant hobbies. I viewed my time very logically. Here's my thought process. If I make blank per hour doing YouTube or my coaching program, why would I join a random club at school or paint something the world will never see? You can call this spoiled or ignorant, but after YouTube became a full-time job in middle school, my worldview did change in many ways, and for better or worse. Although putting my full energy into work was logical and economical, parts of my soul became dormant. The inner artist in me who loved to draw chibi characters was neglected. The inner musician in me that would write heartbreak songs about middle school boys was neglected. The inner athlete in me who ran a mile every day for 30 days was neglected. The inner storyteller in me that wrote short stories on untitled Google Docs that she never finished was neglected. I mourned this loss of exploration. It seemed like I'd never get to explore these seemingly off-brand parts of myself, because isn't junior year supposed to be a year of narrowing down? I've already come so far, why stop now? At this point point in time, it seemed like the rest of my high school career was a narrow, unforgiving path, that one wrong turn would screw everything up. Going back to church today, I have a meeting with one of the team leads at the church at 8:30. This summer I did an internship. This summer I did an internship with the church, and I want to continue it, but in a more low-key way where it's like just on Sundays. I don't know exactly what I want to do in ministry yet. Like, I'm not gonna be out here like I want to be a pastor, but I really want to work in ministry in the future. Even though high school's so busy, it's so important for me to like get hands-on experience in the church. In terms of time management, during the school year, it's kind of like waves with how often I'm at church. Earlier this month, we had a leaders advance where I spent like 40 hours with people from church because we were literally at a retreat. So then after that, I kind of like stepped back, like I wasn't like going to everything, to kind of just balance out my time there. And this weekend, I've spent a lot of time in church as well. So I know next week I should, chill a little bit. God revealed to me in a prayer at church that he would illuminate a new future to me, a future which trumps the narrow-minded draft of the next 5 years I wrote up in my mind. He's just asking me to let go of the manuscript of how life should be in order to begin living. Sammy's so studious.
I have no idea how to do calculus, so I'm going to teach myself.
My fear of feeling lost for a season is holding me back from receiving a new vision. My comfortability with linear progression in life is holding me back from the beautiful twists and turns of life. I believe God has brought me into a season of humbling. There is a season for everything. There was a season in my life for building, but now a season has come to tear down crutches I've used to secure my worth. But in a world where I'm not defined by my grades or views, where do I find my worth? How do I find my place in a sea of other students narrowing down? Book is interesting, but I feel like I can just read a summary online. A lot of it kind of seems like fluffy. I just don't really like the writing style either. Next book, and I'm going through the non-fictions first, is The Meaning of Marriage by Timothy Keller.
You're Annie, right?
Yeah.
I love your YouTube videos
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you.
They're really.
Do you want to say hi? I'm filming right now. Wait, what's your name?
My name's Lauren.
Lauren, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
The team and I just finished watching Where the Crawdads Sing. It was so good. And I watched some movie analysis on it because I love to like figure out the meaning of movies. I mean, I'm sure it would have been better if I didn't watch any movie analysis on it and I tried to create my own, because, I think we should think for ourselves. Recently, I've been like researching why traditional education sucks so much. And it's just because we have this epidemic of perceived ideas where we just get all these ideas literally regurgitated to us and given to us by our teachers. But I am going to spend some time with God tonight, go to sleep, and then go to school tomorrow morning. I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow morning to do some schoolwork because I don't work on Sundays, but Saturday night I did not finish all my work, so I'm doing that Monday morning. I think I really just need to spend like 30 minutes in prayer and journaling. Right now I'm just struggling with a mental block. I don't feel comfortable sharing about it online, but I have a mental block that is bothering me so much. A lot of the times I feel happy and positive, but I'm really not perfect. I can't talk to you guys about everything, but I want to give a more accurate picture of like, there literally are times where I just have to pray to God and be like, this is bothering me so much, take it away. And I'm really bad at lying to people on how I'm doing. If someone asks me how I'm doing, if I'm not doing well, I'll be like, I'm okay. It's like really hard for me to say that I'm good when I'm not doing good. It hasn't been very eventful this afternoon after school. This is literally what I did after school. Worked on the business, did some homework, but didn't get very far. And then now I have my group coaching call for the high performance student program. And after that, I'm gonna do my physics homework and then sign up for behind the wheel driving lessons because I got my permit about 4 weeks ago, but I've not signed up for lessons yet. I think junior year has honestly just been such a game of setting priorities, of letting some things fall away, but choosing what's really important to me. Here's the thing, guys. I really love this hoodie. I love the design and everything, but when I bought it, I was like in a really dark, stressed place. So every single time I wear this hoodie, it just reminds me of like my burnout phase. So I'm gonna take this off. It's just like giving me negative vibes right now, and I don't want to show up to the coaching call in this traumatic attire. Like, I'm that person that when I buy a hoodie, I just wear it repetitively. So I was just wearing this hoodie like all the time while I was stressed, sick, and had COVID, burnout. I just don't want to live through that again. Are you ready to start? Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you've been learning through this interesting time? Hey guys, it's 5 a.m. I'm working on a web quest right now about the antebellum reform for history. History work sometimes feels like busy work, but if you engage your heart into it and actually see the impacts of the event, you can make it not busy work, you know? It seems like for the first time in my life I feel behind. A lot of my closest friends are in a season of building, and I've had to resist the temptation of comparison. If I'm truly confident with the path I'm on, I won't feel the need to compare mine to others. Being confident with my unique path of life doesn't equate to full knowledge of what it holds. God's direction is a lamp to my feet. His wisdom illuminates each next step to me. Not being able to see the entire staircase frequently makes me feel uneasy. However, at each turn on this mysterious path, I'll hear a voice behind me saying, "This is the way. Walk in it."
Because right now my private store is like your fan page. So I'm like, I borrowed Annie's sweatshirt, then I'm like, look at Annie's dog, then I'm like, look, Annie's so, and you weren't even on my friends.
You just had a lot of interaction.
I'm gonna sing.
Well, if you push towards the left, we'll be pushing this way.
Maybe that's the beauty of life, that we never truly have it figured out. Most people accept the truth that life can be unpredictable, but in response to the nature of the world, they grip tighter onto a counterfeit sense of control. But what if instead of trying to resist being tossed by life's currents, we live more like water? We invite turbulent seasons with open arms, knowing with full confidence we can endure different conditions. Where will you look to find your worth? This decision defines your destiny. Choose today what you will serve, whether it's what boys say about you, academic accolades, or your ability to meet cultural expectations. But as for me, I will serve God and embrace what He has said about me. God will guide me continually. He will satisfy my needs in a school full of academic stress, and He'll strengthen me. This is what I'm choosing to believe for the rest of my junior year. What about you? What are you choosing to believe for the rest of your school year? I would love to hear your answer in the comments. Later this week, I went to my church to film a video for them. I love being at church, so the rest of the vlog, you guys will see the ins and outs of my life at church. I don't really know if I like the way I phrase that. Let me just think about it. Same. I'm gonna take it one more time so you have more options. Here at Connect, we don't pass around a plate, but did you ever think that you would be working in ministry?
Absolutely not. I never thought I would. I'm a PK, so I already spent like all my childhood and my life at the church, and I just never thought I would work at a church, but
I never knew you were a pastor's kid.
oh yeah.
What's something positive that you didn't expect from working in ministry?
There's so many things, but if I'm having a bad day, like I literally can have my pastoral staff literally pray over me, like, and it's an environment that's loving. Like I'm not just a number. I am, you know, an employee, and they care about me and my health, my mental health, my spiritual life. I love it.
Estoy lista para esta noche revival. Hola. This is the current setup. I'm good. How are you? Hi. Hey guys, this is Sasha. Are you serving another area?
I'm doing
I'm serving
the indoor host, I guess.
Ooh, nice.
I'm like her big brother and father.
At the same time. It's complicated.
I don't know how that works, but I protect her.
Okay. Thank you all so much for coming along with me for a junior year week in my life. I love you so much. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.